Good morning. Welcome to another video. Sober Sunrise. Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. It is 6:50 a.m. on a Sunday morning. A gorgeous Sunday morning here in Colorado. And I'm already liking what I'm seeing as the beginning of the reading. So let's get to it. Today I'm free. June 22nd. This brought me to the good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power. That if I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else. I would have to be still and know that he, not I, was God. From As Bill Sees It, page 114. And the reading, or the reflection, is I am learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances of my life so that I may enjoy peace of mind. At one time, life was a constant battle because I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. Eventually, this became a losing battle. I ended up getting drunk and crying over my misery. When I began to let go and let God take over my life, I began to have peace of mind. Today I am free. I do not have to fight anybody or anything anymore. Good one. Let's dig in. So it starts off with this brought me to the good, healthy realization that there were plenty. So he's referencing something that had just happened. I think I'm about to sneeze. I've been doing a lot of that lately. It's allergy season, and I sneeze a lot. So forgive me if I suddenly break into a sneezing fit. Something he's referencing, we can reference like yesterday's reading, that fear is not something that is meant to be hidden from. Fear can be a helpful tool. And this brings me to the this brought me to the good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power. Almost all of them we have no personal power over. I have an 8-year-old son, and he is in the talented and gifted program at school. He's very intellectual. He's very intelligent. He's also he hasn't hit his growth spurt yet, so he's a little undersized for his age. But he has a big brain, and he sometimes has trouble controlling himself when it comes to what he says out loud. His inside thoughts sometimes go outside. So it gets him in a little trouble sometimes with adults and with kids. And sometimes kids will say mean things to him. And so I tell him, you can't control what someone else does. The only thing you can control is how you react to what happens. Trying to ingrain in him from an early age to not focus on things he can't control. There are plenty of situations left in the world over which I have no personal power. That if I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else. That's a reference to step one. So ready to admit that that's the case with alcohol, I have no power over it. That's step one. I have to also make the same admission with respect to much else. I mean, what do we have control over? Can't control our thoughts. We can redirect our thoughts, but we can't control an intrusive thought. Intrusive thoughts happen all the time. And the trick is to rewire your processing to say, intrusive thought. Why did I have that thought? Kind of like yesterday's conversation. Why am I having that thought? Is it telling me something? Is it a fear? Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Right? HALT. HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Let me think about that intrusive thought. I'm not afraid of it. Okay. I'm just going to try to understand where it came from. And then I'm going to try to reframe that thought in a positive way. What else do we have control over? Our reaction to things. One of my favorite quotes is from Viktor Frankl, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's something like, between stimulus and response, there is a pause. I should probably just look it up so I don't butcher it. But anyway, the essence of it is there's a stimulus and then there's my response. And in the middle, there is at least a beat, right? And in that beat of a moment or a tenth of a second, that's my power. My power is controlling that gap so that I can say, I'm going to choose how I react. I'm not going to let my limbic system do the choosing for me. The limbic system is the part of the brain that goes back to past experiences, and it says, oh, I know what to do because this has happened to me before. I'm going to ... And oftentimes it's a fight or flight type of a reaction. So it's either fight back, say something nasty that we're going to regret later, whatever. Or it's to flee, to not stand up for ourselves, or to admit we were say, okay, yeah, I was wrong, even if we weren't. So in that gap, you have the power to choose how you react. The trick is making that gap longer and longer and longer over time. So something happens to me, I react. That's usually the limbic system reacting. But if you can go, something happened to me, I'm going to react. You have the time to think about, even for that little period of time, how to react. And that can keep us out of some situations that we find ourselves in all the time, that we don't need to be in. We make that subconscious choice to be in it because our limbic system says, I know how to react. It uses past experience. So rewiring our brain into understand our past experiences, but not make them part of our operating system anymore. That's part of the process as well. Excuse me. I must make the same admission with respect to much else. I have no control over so much. And that's all right. I don't want to be in control of everything. Honestly, I really don't. It's a lot of it's a lot of stress being in control of so much. I'm much happier when I'm not trying to be in control. I still do it a lot because that's just the way I am for now. It's not the way I am, it's the way I was. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's not the way I am, it's the way I was wired. It's the way I was. It's the way I used to be, and I'm trying to get away from it. To be more of a person who understands that I don't have control over very much at all. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But it's hard. It's real hard. I find it one of the things that bothers me the most that I still struggle with is like, you know how some people leave their text messages where you can see when they read it. I don't like that. Because then I know when you read it and you're not responding on purpose. And right away I start telling myself a story. And I go from A to Z real quick. I start telling myself a story, and it's usually not a good one. And then I have to remember that I can't control if someone else is going to reply to my text message right away or not. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they read it, but they're driving. But again, I struggle. So it's a work in progress. If I was ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else. I would have to be still and know that he, not I, was God. I would have to be still and know that I am not in control. I would have to be still and know that I am not my higher power. I would have to be still and know that I am not anyone or anything's higher power. I would have to be still and know that there's a plan. There's, just like, okay, I'm not in charge here. I'm not driving this boat. I'm not steering the ship. I am not the director of the play. I'm along for the ride. So that was Bill's writing. And then let's see. I am learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances of my life so that I may enjoy peace of mind. I love the word acceptance. For a little while there, I was doing a Zoom recovery meeting on Wednesday nights, and the title of it was Acceptance is the Answer. Practicing acceptance in all circumstances. Practicing. I'm not a master of it yet, and I probably never will be. I'm so sorry about my voice. I'm learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances of my life so that I may enjoy peace of mind. Practice it. Try it out. Try reacting to something differently than you normally do. You can practice it in the car. That's one place where all of us, almost all of us anyway, struggle with acceptance and patience. Try it in the car. Try just driving 5 miles per hour above the speed limit. Don't drive out of your mirrors. Drive out of your windshield. And something happens, accept it. Don't react to it. Just let it happen. See what happens. See how that can change something for you. And then try it in another area of your life. If you work like retail or customer facing in any way, there's a lot of times you can practice acceptance in customer facing roles. I know because I have been in a customer facing role almost my entire life. Lots of opportunities to practice acceptance. At one time, life was a constant battle because I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. Ugh, that sounds miserable. Life was a constant battle. I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. I've definitely had those periods where I feel like each day I'm fighting myself. I guess I've never truly had those periods where I felt like I was fighting everyone else. But even half of it, whichever half you find yourself doing, either going through each day fighting yourself or going through each day fighting everyone else, it's very unpleasant. And if you're doing both, I'm really sorry, but you don't have to keep doing it. You don't have to keep doing that. Practice. We're talking about practice, man. Not a game. Takes work. Takes a lot of trial and error. But once you figure out a way to make it work for you, every day won't be a battle. And usually I think it starts with fighting ourselves. If you're at peace with yourself, you're just more inclined to be at peace with others. But if you're constantly battling your own choices and you're just feeling shame and feeling guilt and regret and on a constant, like I was for a long time, it's much easier to find yourself, your limbic system taking over and saying, fight or flight? No, I'm going to fight. I choose to fight. But when you start fighting for yourself, that's a healthy fight. When you're fighting everyone else, usually not a healthy fight. And it says right there, eventually this became a losing battle. Always winds up that way. I ended up getting drunk and crying over my misery. When I began to let go and let God take over my life, I began to have peace of mind. When I began to let go and understand that I don't have control over everything, when I began to let go and let my higher power take over, relinquishing control. Practicing acceptance in all circumstances. Make the admission that you don't have control. Say it to yourself. Say it, write it down. Say it to someone else. Ask someone else to call you out. If you have a partner or a friend or a coworker that you trust, or say, look, I'm working on something. I'm trying to not want to be in control so much all the time. So if you see me doing this, this, and this, please call me on it. Because sometimes we do things and we don't even realize we're doing it because that's just the way we operate. It's our standard operating procedure. So if it's something you can do, have someone be like, hey, you're doing that thing again. And you go, okay, thank you. Let me take a pause. Let me take a beat. Take some deep breaths. Understand how I'm feeling right now. Check in. Do a body check-in. And then you'll start to realize there's a pattern. When my body's feeling a certain way, I act a certain way. And once you have some data to build on, then you can start to go, okay, I know that when I get hungry, I get, snippy with so-and-so. When I get lonely, when I get tired, I start to do certain things. And then you can start to correct those and be conscious of them. You can't correct them if you're not aware of them. when I begin to let go and let the universe take over my life, the universal consciousness, the understanding that I am just riding along on a rock in space, and there's a bigger picture out there, and there's a whole situation, there's a whole deal happening, and I am just this speck. My awareness that everything isn't life and death is and life and death just being an example, like you know, what do they call, what's the word I'm looking for, you know, turn of phrase. It's every little decision isn't the end of the world. I don't need to treat every little thing like it's a huge thing. Save my energy for the decisions that are big decisions. And then let the rest just kind of happen. Then I have peace of mind. Today I am free. I do not have to fight anybody or anything anymore. Most days that's exactly how I feel. And I hope you get there too. Now, yesterday I tried something with another reading up in the top corner. And today I did it again. And this is from, I already forgot, A Calendar of Wisdom. This is the entry for today, June 22nd. Lost souls escape their loss of control in patriotism. When I read this, I did not like it. But I paused and I went, why don't I like this? I wasn't going to share it when I read it first. I wasn't going to share it. Lost souls escape their loss of control in patriotism. I was like, I don't like that. Why? I had to explore my reasons for not liking it. And I did. I was like, okay, I understand. I don't have to tell you guys why I didn't like it. I'll just keep it to myself. But I will say I did a little bit of, let's see, where is it? Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. That's the daily reflection. I did a little bit of thinking about why I don't like it. And then I was like, all right, where is it? Define patriotism. And I found that the one that I liked best is this philosophical perspective. Patriotism can be viewed as a virtue, motivating citizens to contribute positively to society, or as a potential source of bias when it becomes nationalism, which is often more exclusionary and aggressive. And I realized that my understanding of the word patriotism is more closely related to nationalism. Nationalism asserts superiority of one's nation over others, often aggressively. It's exclusionary and assertive. I don't like that. Okay? That's why I was like, I don't like it. I'm not exclusionary. I'm not aggressive. But if it's a patriotism in the sense that it induces a reaction to be a better member of society, to go out there and help someone else, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's all be patriotic today by going out there and helping someone in our community somehow. I'm going to challenge myself to do it today. I've got the entire day to figure out a way to do that. I can escape my loss of control by choosing to go out and help someone in my community with something. I don't know how it's going to happen today. Maybe I'll tell you tomorrow on the next video. But yeah, I'm not into the whole aggressive nationalism kind of thing. I don't know when you're watching this video, but yesterday, we started bombing Iran. It is what it is. This isn't a political video or channel. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, I've definitely gone off course. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. That's all right. It won't hurt my feelings. You can subscribe to the channel. I try to do a new video every day. So far, so good. I think this is, I don't know, 8, 9 in a row. And then if you think there's someone out there who would benefit from hearing today's message or the message of any of the other videos, share the videos with them. And hopefully it'll help someone. That's all I got. Have a great day wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, whoever you are. I guess I've been doing the same way every day. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, you're worth it. You're good enough. You're enough, period. You're doing the best you can, and that's great. Keep doing it. Keep trying. Practice acceptance, and then try to be a good person to someone in your community today. Okay, that's all. Love you all. Bye.